And what the Biden campaign is going to do, as they should, they're going to use those comments as yet another demonstration of just how anti-immigrant, anti-Latino, anti-American Donald Trump is, as he's trying to convince people outside of his MAGA coalition that he actually wants them to support him. He's never going to be able to do that with these horrific racist comments that he's making. And he seems to enjoy what he's saying. And yes, it riles up his MAGA base because they are as xenophobic as he is, but it does nothing to try to add support from the voters, the independents, the suburban women, the other coalitions that he needs in order to win. So as a Democrat, by all means, keep saying what you're saying. It's exactly who he is at his core. As a Latina and as an immigrant, it makes me want to throw up, frankly, to tell you the truth.
Scott?
2/3 of the American people support Donald Trump's policy prescriptions for immigration right now, including a majority of Hispanics in the United States.
Comments?
Let me just tell
do you
a
see
few
them
things.
as racist and xenophobic comments? I mean, he's painting migrants as,
No.
being violent, they have violent tendencies, right? And of course, dehumanizing them to being entertainment for the rest of us.
Is he painting them as being violent? I mean, would Lake and Riley think they were violent? Would Rachel Marin think they were violent? Would Jocelyn Nungare in Texas think they were violent? How about the girl that was raped in broad daylight in New York City? How about the girl that was kidnapped in Missouri? Yeah, there are violent people in the country. And yeah, Donald Trump uses colorful language, but the bottom line is immigration is killing Joe Biden's campaign right now. This is why he has a low approval rating. This is why Donald Trump is honing in on this. And people are responding to it, and people are fed up with it. And if you want to call 2/3 of the country racist or xenophobic because they're in a mood right now that they want this fixed, yes, agree. By all means, go on. It's not going to work.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You guys just seen that. You heard that, okay? Scott Jennings dropping the hammer on two Democrat activists on CNN. He was basically double teamed, tag teamed, because the CNN anchor there clearly was biased, calling Trump's comments about illegal immigrants being, potentially violent. Oh, well, that's racist. That's xenophobic. And you got the Democrat strategist there, again, crying racism and xenophobia. But again, Democrats are about to walk themselves into a situation where they are going to accuse the American people of being racist and xenophobic because the American people agree with Trump when it comes to his policy solutions for the border. And again, this is how you get yourself into this trap when you don't know how to defend your policies outside of crying hate and bigotry, right? Democrats can't talk about anything or any issue without saying, well, you're hateful and bigoted if you don't agree with me, okay? But it seems as if not every anchor is like that CNN anchor that basically goes along with the Democrats and their gaslighting, because we got to talk about a rare moment from the mainstream liberal media where they actually call out the Democrats as they gaslight and lie to the American people about the Democrats and their terrible policies. Now, outside of the economy, the issue that Biden is struggling with the most is immigration, okay? The border, which has happened because people realize that, hey, it's not racist, sexist, xenophobic, bigotry, whatever you want to call it, to say, hey, we don't want illegals just coming into this country unvetted through the border, okay? Because the illegals now are in these liberal cities and they're in these Democrat neighborhoods and strongholds. They're saying that, hey, we don't really want these people here. All of a sudden, now they realize that unfettered illegal immigration, that open borders is not a good thing, okay? So the polls are now reflecting that Democrats are very unpopular when it comes to their open border policies, but they still defend their open border policies because they refuse to acknowledge reality, which is that most of the American people want to deport illegals, right? In fact, they want to deport all the illegals, okay? That is how most of the American people feel. It is what it is. But again, Democrats, instead of acknowledging this reality, they say, no. That's not what you really want, right?
By the way, politically, I don't think the American people are in a pro-amnesty mood right now. You look at what Trump is proposing, there's a lot of polling that shows majority support for what Trump is saying, including among Hispanics in the United States of America. They
what
like
about
what
detention?
Trump is saying
but
about
Scott,
cracking down on illegal immigration.
What about detention camps and mass deportations? What about that?
Mass deportations has majority support in the United States and among Hispanic voters right now. It's recent polling. You can look it up. No. It is at Maria. It is absolutely true. When we get off the air and you Google it, you're going to be embarrassed, but it's absolutely true.
I will send you the actual polling from pollsters who actually know how to poll on this issue.
You're going to be embarrassed.
I will send this to you after our segment.
The CBS poll, 53%.
I have issues with that poll because of exactly what I'm saying. But I do want to.
The polls aren't true. People don't want to deport illegals. Okay, they want more open border policies, which is again what the Biden administration promotes. Okay, but then they turn around and they blame Trump. They say, well, Trump is the reason why the border is open, while at the same time advocating for the border to be open, which is essentially what Elizabeth Warren is going to do here in this interview with ABC News' Martha Raddatz, who is going to snap on Elizabeth Warren after Elizabeth Warren starts gaslighting the audience on who's to blame for Biden's open border crisis. So I want to talk about it, but before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Noble Gold. There's a recession tsunami incoming, de-dollarization, bank failures, and financial destruction. Kevin Sorbo, legendary actor and savvy investor, has your lifeline, the Economic Crisis Toolkit. With Noble Gold Investments expertise and Kevin Sorbo's wealth wisdom, you can navigate the storm and emerge victorious. This comprehensive toolkit includes exclusive videos, in-depth guides, and eye-opening webinars, an arsenal of financial knowledge, yours absolutely free. Recession-proof your wealth. Do not wait for the next economic crisis to crash down on your dreams. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com and sign up for the Economic Crisis Toolkit. That's noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com.
In the election, if he could stir up
Senator, let's talk about President Biden. I know he wanted that immigration bill to pass, that bipartisan, but there have been more than 6.9 million apprehensions at the southern border thus far in Biden's term. There were just over 2 million in Donald Trump's entire term.
Wow.
What did the president do wrong?
No, this isn't about what the president did wrong. Remember, on the very first day that he was sworn into office.
Yeah, he repealed over 90 of Trump's executive orders, while at the same time, he told illegal immigrants to come, right? To come to this country. That's what he actually did, okay? I want to make sure I mention that before she gets into the lying here about what Biden actually did, okay? But yeah, he actually made the border a lot weaker with his repealing of Trump's executive orders to strengthen the border. That is what Joe Biden actually really did his first day in office, okay? He made the border weaker, okay? He basically opened up the country for illegals to flood the country, and that's exactly what they did.
President Biden asked Congress both for the resources and for comprehensive immigration reform. The Republicans blocked it. Donald
Trump didn't have that either, Senator. He didn't have that either, and there were 2 million during his...
Facts. So again, if the argument is that, well, the reason why there's been 3 times as many illegals coming to the country under Biden than Trump, I mean, Trump's whole term, okay, and Biden's term is not up yet, okay? So again, we're going to talk about 4 or 5 times more illegals coming under Biden than Trump in 4 years. But if the argument is that the reason why this is happening is because of a lack of comprehensive immigration reform, then the same thing should have been happening under Trump. The same thing should have been happening under Obama. Now, the same thing didn't happen under Obama, and the same thing didn't happen under Trump because, hey, they actually believed in deporting illegals, right? They weren't begging people to come to this country. Not the way Biden was doing, okay? Biden was begging people to come to this country during the Democrat primary, okay? Because it was a woke virtue signaling contest, and Joe Biden was trying to win, and he basically told all the illegals that, hey, you have a right to come to this country and to seek asylum, right? And that's what they did. They came to the border and said, hey, Biden said we can come. I'm hungry, right? I'm hungry and I'm escaping political persecution, right? Those are the magic words. That's all you got to say. And quite literally, you can get in through the southern border, right? Again, this is not a secret, right? Everybody knows. But again, this idea that, well, you need legislation in order to not have these numbers that Biden has is just ridiculous, because we've never had these numbers before, and we didn't have comprehensive immigration reform, aka Democrats normalizing illegal immigration, right? This is what they actually really want to do.
His entire term.
Until last fall, the president tries to deal with the problem that is presented to him. He can't deal with it if Congress and the Republicans continue to block him. And so the president is using the tools available to him, both to create border security, but he doesn't have the resources because the Republicans are blocking access.
But he is president. Understood. I do think you've made your point. But poll after poll, as Matt Rivers just pointed out, say that this is a very weak poll number for President Biden. Trump surpasses him by 17 points in trust and working the border.
I understand that. And I understand that the president is doing what he can with the resources available to him. But you know as well as I do that he can't manufacture more judges. He can't manufacture more guards if Congress doesn't give him the resources to do that. You know, the president...
Here's the thing. There's a lot of things he can do. He can put back in place Trump's policies that were in place before he got in office. He can order the military to go to the border. There are things that Biden can do if he actually wanted to close the border. He doesn't want to close the border. Democrats don't want to close the border. This is being done on purpose because it benefits them in the long run when it comes to their electorate, right? They know that these illegals being counted as a part of the census, again, that plays into their power in Congress. And also, they're betting on some of these illegals having kids, and then they become Democrat Party voters. This is the long-term game, right? They also want these illegals to get jobs, to put pressure on wages to fall, okay, to undercut the American people. This is why they're placing them in these neighborhoods that are mostly black and brown, right? So-called black and brown neighborhoods, okay, so the illegals can take their jobs. This is what they're doing. It's being done on purpose. And then they're trying to gaslight you and tell you, oh, no. It's not Biden's fault. It's Trump's fault. Even though Biden has all the tools at his disposal that Trump had, that Obama had to close the border or to at least make it more secure, and he just refuses to do so. But then he turns around and he blames Trump. Again, they think that you're stupid, right? This is what they think. They talk to you like you're dumb, right? Even this anchor on liberal media is like, nah, you can't gaslight us like this. You can't gaslight the American people like this. Look at the polls. They're not buying into this garbage. How can you blame Trump when under Trump's situation, he did not have comprehensive immigration reform and he still managed to do a much better job than Biden is doing, right? It has to be something with Biden's policies. It's the policies and it's also the rhetoric. That's the problem.
The president is out there doing everything he can, not just at the border, but overall for families. And the action he took in this last week is exactly Joe Biden being Joe Biden. Think for just a minute about what it means for 500,000 families that little kids go off to school in the morning and they don't have to worry about whether or not mom or dad is still going to be part of their family when they get home.
And what about the border that you were so concerned about a couple of weeks ago? The first question I ask you, are you less concerned now?
No, I am concerned about what's happening at the border, and I am concerned that the president, because of Donald Trump and the Republicans, does not have the resources that he needs in order to be able to provide as much help at the border. He's doing what he can with the resources he has available. You know, for me, this is about the contrast between the two. Donald Trump has said, block congressional action because he wants more chaos at the border. He wants as much division as possible in this country. He wants to turn us against immigrants who are here, who help support this country, who make it stronger. Donald Trump is doing everything he can to advance Donald Trump and to undercut the United States of America.
Okay, Senator,
Joe Biden
I want to
is taking the resources available and trying to keep our nation knitted together and trying to give us border security and a pathway to citizenship.
I want to move.
Yeah, I mean, because Elizabeth Warren is just lying here, right? She's lying. She's bragging about giving illegals amnesty, right? That's what pathway to citizenship is. Amnesty. You could just stay here forever. Right? We don't care if you broke the law, right? We don't give a damn, right? You could just stay. And then they wonder why more illegals continue to come. Oh, Biden's doing everything he can to stop the illegals from coming, except he's handing out amnesty. He's letting these people come here and just stay, which incentivizes them to continue to come. What don't these people understand about this very simple concept? Granting work authorization permits, saying that, oh, it's racist to want a strong border, granting amnesty, trying to grant pathways towards citizenship, not allowing people to tell the truth about the crime that the illegals are committing, giving all this funding to them staying in these houses that the taxpayers are subsidizing, feeding them, just letting them into the country on sketchy asylum claims, letting them stay in the country while they wait for their claims to be heard when they should be in another country. They should be in Mexico, okay? South of the border. I don't care which country, just not here. All of these things are contributing to the fact that people continue to rush to the border and to come into this country because Biden is incentivizing it. The Democrats are incentivizing it. And until you get rid of all of the incentives, it will continue to happen. It will not stop, and it will get worse, because if this man is elected, I promise you, he will grant mass amnesty, work permits, and citizenship to all of these illegals. I'm telling you, they will be here permanently. Okay? And it will get worse, because at that point, more people will come to the border and say, hey, it's open season to come to the United States, because Democrats are basically handing out the opportunity to stay here and to come in this country illegally and do whatever the hell that you want to do and to undercut taxpayers and the American people. That's what Democrats want to do. And I'm sick and tired of all the gaslighting and the lying about, oh, Biden's doing everything he can. No, he's not. Biden ain't doing nothing. Biden's just trying to survive until the election. That's what Biden's trying to do. So miss me with this nonsense, right? And, hey, I think that Martha Raddatz here did a decent job of pushing back against some of the BS from Elizabeth Warren, even though I think she could have pushed back a lot harder. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.